Hey everybody, I'm back again, and this is present me. And the reason why I say that is because the video you're about to watch was recorded a couple months ago, and originally I just didn't have the passion to really edit this video. But I was like, you know what? I have the audio for it. I think it's a decent video, so I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna put it out. But yeah, I am back, and I promise to be consistent. Even though I have said that multiple times, I really have the passion to do this again. I will consistently upload. With that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
So, for all the little bros that watch my channel, which there's only 3 of y'all, but you know I love myself some romance anime, especially a slice of life romance anime. But there's these current issues that are going on with mono romance anime that sometimes make me feel tired or burnt out of watching romance anime in general. So, I was so happy when I watched 365 Days to a Wedding because it was so refreshing, and I'm here to tell you why. But before I tell you, let me hit you with the premise of the anime. Rika and Takio both work for a travel agency, and the boss tells everybody that they need somewhere to transfer to Alaska, and they're targeting unmarried people. Rika and Takio don't want to go to Alaska, which, by the way, I don't blame them either. From what I know, in Alaska, there is nothing but expensive food and young there. Anyways, Rika comes up with a plan, and that is for them to get married so they can avoid going to the igloo block. From there, we see them develop an actual relationship through this fake marriage. Now, to get back to the topic of why this anime is so refreshing is for 2 main reasons that I will get into. Of course, fan service isn't just an issue in modern romance anime. It is a problem in anime as a whole. But I still wanted to cover the topic when it comes to arguably my favorite genre getting affected by this. And it's just very sad to see. Obviously, I'm not gonna hit you over the head about why fan service is bad since most of y'all already know that. The thing that gets me so frustrated about it is because we have anime like My Dress Up Darling that has some amazing character writing, like some of the best you'll ever see in the genre. Or we have other anime like More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers that has a very interesting premise. It gets so hard to watch these animes with the fan service that are in both anime. And I still overall like both of those anime, but fan service is an issue that plagues both of those animes, sadly. With all this said, let me be clear. There isn't something inherently wrong with putting sexual things within a story, but only if it adds something to the story. For example, I think Fujimoto does that perfectly with both parts of Chainsaw Man, with Chainsaw Man covering topics like grooming and Denji's point of view on love being sexual because of the things that he went through. Hell, there's even some sexual things within the 365 Days to a Wedding manga that hasn't been animated yet, so no spoilers. But I actually think it adds some funny comedy to the story, which is another topic within itself. And the sexual things are not frequent at all in the story. And you know what? Let's just say it is pointless fan service. I like seeing here and there, but the problem is that it's so abundant within these animes. And let me emphasize this because this is the most important part that makes this very disgusting. And it is that a lot of these over sexualizations happen in these romance animes that are set in place in a high school setting with characters, specifically girls that are in high school. That just adds another level of weirdness and awkwardness while watching a lot of these romance anime. I am so glad that 365 Days sexual things are rarely there and it doesn't happen with characters that are in high school. Speaking of which, now, don't get me wrong, I am 19. I ain't no 35-year-old, right? But I still like seeing diversity in a genre. Now, will a genre have a lot of overflowing story beats and just similarities in general? Yes, but it gets tiring sometimes just watching another high school romance anime. So 365 Days to a Wedding is very refreshing in that aspect because it takes place in no school environments at all. With them being adults, it can tackle topics that you can't do with characters in high school. Or you could do, but it won't nearly have the same impact. For example, this anime obviously tackles the topic of marriage. Now, to bring back to an anime I mentioned earlier, More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers, technically has the aspect of marriage with these high schools getting put into this marriage simulation / experiment. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. To me, it just feels like another high school romance anime with a little bit of oomph to the premise. It really does nothing to tackle marriage itself, which I still think it's fine, and I still enjoyed the anime. But 365 Days, it actually deep dives into into the topic of marriage, questioning why people get married, talking about the traditions of marriage, and showing both the good and bad side of marriage. And a little minor spoiler, cover yours for like 3 seconds. But they go over the topic of divorce too. So for me, it gives me more to chew on and it has me sitting there questioning those things about marriage myself, even though marriage is definitely far reach from now. Like I at least need 70 subs before I get married, right? So yeah, subscribe so I can get you know what? Yeah, sub so I can get married. But anyways, just to hammer the point in, I feel like we need to see more adult romance anime because it just provides another perspective. To sum up my points, if you need a refresher, if you feel burnt out of watching romance anime, go watch 365 Days. It has a limited amount of sexual content, but providing an interesting deep dive into a topic. Not to mention the great writing. And I usually don't say this, but 365 Days is kind of funny too. Anyways, I didn't know how to fit this within the flow of the video, but there's one thing I wanted to say about the manga, and it is that Wakiki can draw beautiful and eye-catching backgrounds. Oh my god, the backgrounds are so fucking good. Wallpaper material for real, for real. Anyways, let's get back to the end of the video. Fuck Mysterious Girlfriend X, and like always, have a great day. Yeah.